This video is for the multi-step equations with variables on both sides notes. So the first thing you have is this little reminder that says don't call me after midnight. And what this stands for is the steps you're going to take when you're solving these types of equations. So the D and don't stands for distribute first if you need to. And then the C in call stands for combine. So combine your like terms. And then the M in me is move the smallest variable. And then A for after is you add or subtract your constants. And then the M is for multiply and divide by the coefficient. So those are your steps in solving these equations. So those same steps are listed here. So step one, again, is to distribute if needed. And then step two is simplify, which is your combining of like terms, each side of the equation. Then step three is move all your variables or terms to one side, and then solve the remaining two-step equation. So the first one we have here is 5y minus 8 equals 3y plus 12. And so like I showed you in the last video with these, I always like to move the smallest variable first. So it's a positive 3y, so I would subtract 3y from both sides. And then this would cancel. And then now I have a two-step equation. So add and subtract first. This cancels. And then divide both sides by 2. That cancels. And you're left with y equals 10. All right, so in this one, same thing. I've got a negative 6x plus 14 equals 12x minus 8x. So I'm going to move the 8x. So I'm going to add an 8x to both sides. So here I'd have a positive 2x. And again, I'm left with just a two-step equation. So I can subtract 14 from both sides. And then divide by 2. And I get x equals negative 1. Okay. So on the inside here, we've got some more. So the first one here is 7k equals 3k minus 36. So I'm going to move this 3k. And then I'm going to divide by the 4. So k would equal negative 9. Here I've got 12 minus 2u plus 9u equals 45. So in this one, I'm going to add the 2u to both sides. Let's see what happens when we do that. So again, we're left with a two-step equation. Hang on real quick. Okay. So here I've got a negative 33. And then we're going to divide both sides by 11. And I would be left with a negative 3 equals u. All right, so here I've got 11 minus m equals 51 minus 6m. So I'm going to add the 6m to both sides. And this would be 5m. That cancels. Again, two-step equation. So add and subtract first. And then divide both sides by 5. And I'm running out of room here, so I'm going to write my solution here. M would equal 8. All right, now I've got negative 10k plus 1 equals 40 minus 7k. So let's add the 10k to both sides. These cancel. Two-step equation again. So subtract 40 from both sides. So I've got negative 39 equals 3k, and then divide both sides by 3. So again, I'm kind of running out of room, so I'm going to write my solution here. So I would get negative 39 divided by 3 is a negative 13, and that would equal k. All right, so here's one where I'm going to have to distribute. So we're going to distribute. So 3 times 6 would be 18p. 3 times -1 is a -3. I don't have to combine like terms, and now I can just keep working kind of the same steps. Get all the variables together. Then get all my constants together. But by this point, again, we're at a two-step equation. And so you just kind of follow the same pattern every time. So divide by 7. So P would equal a -6. All right, here's another one. Now I've got to distribute on both sides of this equation. So 2 times 4w would be an 8w. 2 times -1 would be a -2. -10 times w would be a -10. 10w. -10 times a -3 would be a +30, and plus 4. So here I am going to have to combine like terms. So here I would get plus 34, and then we're going to move our variable. Now we're down to a two-step equation. So add 2 to both sides, and then divide both sides by 18. So W would equal 2. All right, last two problems. So first I've got to distribute. So 9 times n is 9m. 9 times a -3 is a -27 plus 3m. And again, this is one where I'm going to have to combine like terms. And then let's see, let's move the 7. So here I would get 5m. This cancels. Add 27 to both sides. And this I would get 6, 7. That cancels. It's give me a 70. Divide both sides by 5. So 70 divided by 5 would be m equals 14. All right, last one here. So distribute first. Now when you distribute with this one, notice we're going to distribute a -7 here. So -7 times 2a would give me a -14a. -7 times 3 would give me a -21. We're going to combine like terms. So -16 and a -21 gives me a -37. I'm going to move the 14 again. I always move the smallest variable and coefficient. That cancels. Subtract 23 from both sides. So we get -60. Oh, I don't know how I got an equal there. Oh, because that should be a subtraction sign. Sorry, guys. And that would equal... Sorry, guys, that should be a positive. So to walk you back to what I did, when I added the 14a to the -2a, I should have got a positive 12a, and I accidentally put an equal sign. So that cancels, and then we divide both sides by 12. So -60 divided by 12 gives me a -5, and that's going to equal a. So that's it for this video.